Hello and welcome. You're watching Head to Head. I'm Carrie Oderman with UATV. U.S. lawmakers on Tuesday approved sanctions on companies and governments working on the controversial Nord Stream 2 pipeline that will link Germany with Russian gas. The massive $11 billion project is just weeks away from completion and has led President Donald Trump to call Germany a captive to Russia. To dig more into gas relations between the U.S., Germany, Ukraine, and Russia, we are joined in the studio today by Oleksandr Kharchenko, director of the Energy Industry Research Center. Seems like we have a lot to talk about.
Oh, it's really so. I want to make a small remark, first of all, that not a sanction against Nord Stream 2. It's a sanction against deep pipeline installation technology, which could be provided to Russian energy exporting projects. What is important in this remark is that it's not just Nord Stream 2, it's also Turk Stream 3 and 4, because two lines of Turk Stream already installed, but to another now in dangerous, and I believe it will create situation when Russian will never install that additional lines. That's now the sanction fully changed the landscape for negotiations between Europe, Russia and Ukraine as a transit countries. Why? Because before everybody waiting, and first of all Russians waiting, that Nord Stream 2 will be finished in time. In time it means any time in 2020. And they will have a very clear option to bypass Ukraine with gas flow for 100%, to have zero through Ukraine. And if this sanction came right now, next month, I believe that NDA will be signed quite today, tomorrow. It means that Nord Stream 2 will be not will be finished in 2020, even 2021, and maybe not in 2022. What it automatically means that Russians need Ukrainian gas transportation system for next a little bit more years. What create for Ukrainian delegation a huge additional tool to talk. Because before it was just, preparation. All negotiations before today was just talking about nothing. Today, I have some connection with delegation and some news. Today it's really hard talk. It's real talk about real things, fully different. I don't know still results. You don't know results. Nobody knows results because it's still in progress. But I believe this change in landscape already, presented there in Berlin.
Now, you said that Nord Stream might not be completed for several years if the negotiations don't go well for Russia. But isn't it really on the doorstep of being completed? Some U.S. officials think nothing's going to be able to stop it.
You see, it's like 100 kilometers of pipe. Theoretically, Russia has one vessel which is, after some technical modernization, could do this job. They never did this job before. They have no understanding of technology, but I believe that Germany could modernize this vessel. And in this case, technically, this vessel is able to do the job for like half of a year or something around. But this vessel owned by Gazprom. And if Gazprom go against sanction of US, what it means? It means sanction against Gazprom. It's a New York listed company. It's not just state-owned company in Russia. And all their financing, all their debts, all their loans and future loans to refill previous one will be in high damage. It's not appropriate for Gazprom. What it means? It means they have to sell this vessel. They have to approve that US will be not able to say that it's a fake sale. And in this case, they could start this job. I believe it's 2-3 years.
It's an interesting take on this. So in those 2-3 years that the United States could then be offering the EU and Germany their liquefied gas?
No, it's very, very interesting talking about LNG in Europe. Because in European market, LNG now it's like 1% of European market. But this year, this 1% create a huge influence because prices go down 2 times in comparison with previous time. Because LNG just even present. 1% of all volume, it's nothing, it's peanuts, but it's really influence. And in case, if we will have more terminals in Baltic, in other points, in Spain, in France, everywhere, if we will have more volume of LNG came to Europe, and Ukraine here ready to play some big role, why? Because usually we have 2 seasons for LNG. One season is winter time. In winter time, LNG is a very important source of supply for all Asian countries. Japanese, Chinese, Philippines, everyone in that area. But in summertime, nobody ready to buy LNG. Why? Because they have not enough consumption level, and from other side, they have no storages. And even they not able to build storage, because storages for gas, it's an empty source of gas. When you have this empty source, you could modernize it and have storage for big volume. But Ukraine and Europe has a 30 billion cubic meters storages, and we could propose, and it's already discussed in many negotiations in US, that LNG vessel came to Europe, pump gas to Ukrainian storages in summertime when it's extremely cheap, when they have no any supplier who ready to buy, and then just sell it in wintertime when it's huge needs, huge option to sell, and very good market in Europe. And many LNG companies really interesting to do this business.
Can you explain maybe to our viewers also something about President Trump?
I don't know him.
You don't know him, but you've probably been following his attitudes towards Nord Stream. And this seems to be the one sticking point where he's critical of Russia. You know, he has deferred to the Russian president, Putin, in almost every case except for this. And now with Nord Stream, he's accusing Germany of being captive to the Kremlin. How is he maneuvering between different chairs, it seems, being very Russia-friendly in almost all of his policy except on this point?
It's a secret for me. As well, I'm very interested how Merkel could play in the same role in 180-degree
yes,
other
because
direction.
She's the counterpart.
Because usually
exactly.
Merkel is so good friend of Ukraine in every and all aspects. But in this concrete case, Merkel extremely against Ukrainian position. And you know, it's a big secret for me because these 2 countries and these two leaders play the same things, but in opposite direction. I don't know why, I don't know how it's happened, but it's alive.
Well, as someone that's been watching the energy markets, do you think it's because she's concerned about the national interest of Germany and making sure that her political party stays in power, people have access to reasonably priced heating in the winter? Does that have anything to do with it, electability?
The main lobbyist for Nord Stream 2 in Germany is the chemical concern. It's named BASF. It's a huge company, really very big, extremely big company, which is really extremely interested in Nord Stream 2. Why? Because in case if this project is constructed and commissioned, it means that Germany always will have gas cheaper than any other chemical plants in Europe. Just because all this gas came through the Germany and all others pay additional cost for transportation. And Germany will have direct access for Nord Stream 2. That's key for their economical interest. That's why they support this project so, I don't know what is the right word, but much deep, so in so clear way and so hardly. I believe it's, in general, in Germany, you could find a lot of people who is against Nord Stream 2. It's not a brick. Germany is, even in Bundestag, you could find a lot of members who is extremely against Nord Stream 2. More, I want to say you that when Europarlament vote, it was 2 times when Europarlament vote against Nord Stream 2 with some request to German government, including German government, guys, we have to cancel this project. Then 60% of Germans members of Europarlament vote against Nord Stream 2. that it's not a brick. And in Germany, it's also a huge political play. Who support Nord Stream 2? Who is against? Why? It's a so big discussion.
So if we're using the logic that there's a major lobbying push to support Nord Stream 2, we could use the same logic saying that there must be a major liquefied natural gas lobby in the United States trying to prevent it.
I don't know is it exactly exists LNG lobbying in US at all. It's a young market. It's a very young companies who provide LNG to market at all. It's not like, dinosaurs. Just 3-4 years as LNG even started for real export from US. It's not a long time ago. And like if you will check 5 years ago, Gazprom publicly said many times that we'll never see LNG in Europe because it's too expensive, not enough quantity, not possible for export, not terminals, and other issue. And really, if you will check volume, it's still very small volume on the European market.
Okay, so we have Trump and Merkel on absolutely different sides of the spectrum, but they're both affected by these sanctions. Who are the sanctions really going to target? You said that the companies that lay undersea pipeline, but that also has a ripple effect.
It's not a big effect. Why? Because really project is close to finish. Everybody already did their works, their jobs, already received their money. It's just a small part which is not finished, and we will be very happy if it will be not finished forever. And it's not a big losses. Even for Allseas, who is the main provider of services for Nord Stream 2, same time Allseas has 3 other projects, which of them is in the same size or even bigger than Nord Stream 2, with United Kingdom and with US. And it's also background why it's not affect Allseas like punch. It's just a small part of losses. It's not a big for them. On December 31st, the current gas transport contract piping Russian gas through Ukraine will expire. It's being renegotiated. You're talking about the need for it to be renegotiated because if Nord Stream's not finished. How do you think those negotiations are going to go? We'll see. Today is the first day of real negotiations. I believe even today, on all these emotional statements from Germany side, from Russian side, from everybody now, we will see some first steps to real results. I know that today it's a really, before all these meetings on negotiations was like, hi guys, how are you? We are well. Bye guys, that's all. Now it's a long discussion. It's a lot of lawyers in process. And I believe that today we will have some first, not last, but first step to real negotiations. This date of December 31st also has some relevance because President Zelensky said that he wanted all prisoners in Russian hands back by New Year's. So we have 2 important things that should be happening by December 31st. Do you think they're leveraging off of each other at all? No, I believe not. Separate negotiations, separate? As I heard from all our officials in many directions, President has clear understanding that it's not possible to connect these 2 political and economical issues. And it's a main target for Russian guys to join them and to make, they name it, пакетное решение, like pocket decision. Everything in one place. Everything have to be solved in one time. Bundle it, yeah. But guys, sorry, it's really different. It's hugely different. It's not possible to bundle. And as I know, Ukrainian position is very clear and based on European rules and nothing more. Well, thank you for your insight. We'll see how these negotiations turn out. I appreciate you coming to the studio today. That was Oleksandr Kharchenko, Director of the Energy Industry Research Center. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more with UATV.